who is a pharmacist? Very many people have already asked a question. Who is a pharmacist? What does he do? I'm here to tell you who a pharmacist is. 1. A pharmacist is a licensed professional who deals with handling, preparation, and safe use of medicines or drugs. That's a general description of who a pharmacist is. How does someone become a pharmacist? Here in Uganda, a pharmacist goes through these steps to become one. You do A level. After finishing A level, you get an admission in an accredited university. Of recent, they have been doing below 5 years, but now 5 years in school. After your 5 years, you'll do an exam here, pre-internship exam, finish it, do internship, finish internship, do an eligibility exam. After finishing that, then you go for registration. You get registered as a pharmacist, get your licenses, and start practicing. Now, what does a pharmacist do? There are very many fields in which a pharmacist works. 1, we have a clinical pharmacist. These are the pharmacists who work in hospitals. They can do clinical work in a hospital setting. That is clinical pharmacist. 2, we have a community pharmacist. Just like myself. I think you can see my background. Community pharmacist. These are pharmacists that you'll find do leadership in pharmacy. They head teams. They do supervision of whatever is done in a community pharmacy. They head teams. They do supervision of whatever is done in a community pharmacy. They can do the procurement, they can do the dispensing, everything that happens in a community pharmacy. A pharmacist is always behind. 3, academia. There are those who decide to go for lecturing, like in university, they go and lecture university students who are also studying pharmacy. There is that specialty also. Someone may decide to go and do lecturing in public or private universities. They go and pass on the information to the next generation of pharmacists. Okay? We also have military pharmacists. You go to military hospitals, you go to military, you find pharmacists there. There are those who say, no, let me go and practice in military. There are nuclear pharmacists. There are those who decide to do nuclear pharmacy. Here in Uganda, we have, I think one, here in Manago, we have radio pharmacist. He's there. If you go there and ask one, you will see. They will show you. That's also another area of practice. Another thing, we have research pharmacists. Those who discover medicines. Okay? You have seen the products, herbal products on market. For example, for the case of Uganda, herbal products on market which are made by pharmacists. I think everyone heard of Covidex. It was made by a pharmacist. Genacof, Aeroseed, Aero Enjoy, and very many other products which are made by pharmacists here in Uganda, herbal of them. They do research. Pharmacists also involve themselves in other researches to make these other conventional medicines. They do a lot of research, discovery of medicines through research. They do a lot of projects through research and contribute to manufacture of new medicines. Some of you, I'm sure, don't know, but pharmacists are always behind doing that. We have industrial pharmacists. There is no industry that can start without a pharmacist. Never. Pharmacists are always there leading teams on production lines. There is no production line that can move without a pharmacist. No. A pharmacist must be there. They are regulatory pharmacists. You know our regulatory body here in Uganda, National Drug Authority. Most of those people you see coming to facilities to supervise, see how drugs are moving, whether you do this and that, whether the facility is in a good place to handle medicines. Most of those ones are pharmacists. And very many other fields of practice. However, in Uganda here, everyone knows pharmacists are dispensers. It's not entirely that. Only that it is the commonest that whenever everyone finishes school and they finish their registration, what is common is they go for community pharmacy. You have always heard there is no pharmacy that can begin without a pharmacist. That one I can assure you. Every pharmacy that opens up, there must be a pharmacist who does the supervisory role. That is a pharmacist. A pharmacist in a community pharmacy must ensure that all the drugs that are sold in there are of high quality, are gotten from right channels, are stored in right places. Don't find a drug that is supposed to be under fridge and it's not in fridge. That's not good practice. They must ensure that the environment within which other workers work in are in safe conditions. The pharmacy, all the medications are under control. If I can tilt my camera, you will see something here in the corner. I think you can see. That is a hygrothermometer. It measures humidity within the pharmacy and the temperature within the pharmacy, because most of the medicines are stored under controlled environments. That's why we have to ensure that all the medicines you get or you take are stored under safe conditions. Those are pharmacists. Okay? So, when someone tells you a pharmacist is this and this, just download all the above. In simple terms, wherever you see a drug, there is always a hand of a pharmacist. Wherever you see a drug, there is always a hand of a pharmacist. From research to industries, from the industry through distribution to importers, wholesalers, retailers, to these retail pharmacies, like this one is a retail pharmacy. There is always a hand of a pharmacist. Okay? Next time they ask you who a pharmacist is, just tell them a pharmacist is a person whose hand always follows where a drug molecule is. Wherever there is a drug molecule, there is always a hand of a pharmacist. Whether visible or invisible. Thank you very much.